Lost the election, says they need to get more female candidates. There's talk of quotas and funds to do this. Do quotas actually work? I mean, you've been a woman in the Liberal Party. Are quotas the answer here or not?
Well, the report suggested targets rather than quotas, and I know that's a fine distinction, but that's the language that was used. And I think that in an informal sense, that's kind of already been there. People are always within the party looking out for good female talent to grow and develop and encourage into more and more roles of responsibility. And that has worked to some extent. I mean, if you think about the Morrison election, joining the party room, it was exactly 50% men and 50% women. It's just that when you have an election routing like we just had, the reality that men tend to hold the safer seats is exposed. I don't think quotas work, though. And the reason I feel that way is that the difficulty involved in taking the journey to parliamentary service actually prepares you for doing the job well. And so, you know, is it hard for a woman to get a parliamentary representative position? Yes, it's probably hard for blokes too. But if you take away the difficult learning experiences along the way, you're not as well prepared to have a massive impact when you arrive. And so if you want to have huge policy impact, be an effective fundraiser and be able to hold your own in the corridors of power, then you kind of need the baptism of fire that comes from doing it the hard way.
Well, it feels to me so often the discussion is more about the effect than the cause. Oh, we don't have enough women, therefore we need to shovel more women in here, without asking the question, why might there be a dearth of women who want to join a political party? I mean, you've been in there, you've done it. Do you see, or did you see anything that you feel would discourage a woman from wanting to join the Liberal Party?
Look, I think you can, point out examples of bits and pieces along the way. But I think there's something really significant that's missing from this report, if you don't mind my saying so.
Sure.
It goes through in lots of learned detail what can be done to better advertise, what can be done to better develop and pre-select candidates, the impact of factionalisation and all that sort of stuff. All of that's right. But at no point does it say part of the problem was what we stood for. Isn't that the guts of what makes people decide where to cast their vote? And it's precisely the difference, I think, between just getting female bums and putting them on seats and actively seeking to listen to women in the community and deliver policy that reflects the needs in their lives and that delivers for the challenges they face. That's the difference for winning an election. Bums on seats, fine. I'd much prefer you get the right bums on seats, but the quality of the policy and the values that you stand for has to run through everything you do. And there's nothing said about that in the report.
Funny that, isn't it? It should be about the substance, but I think too often we ignore that. Amanda Stoker, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me.